It was a thrilling game between Leicester City and Tottenham. A controversial one too. Before we get on to the defeat for Tottenham on their travels, dropping points yet again, let's talk about VAR and the offside decision, which ruled them from going 2-0 up.
Right. So, as you watch this play and you see it unfold and then you see the breakdown and then you see the lines and people are going to complain about, well, it's merely millimeters. So, what's the problem? If the technology that right now we're trusting to give us the information tells us that Heung-min Son is millimeters offside, then he's offside. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. You're either offside or you're not. There's no such thing as half offside. It has nothing to do with clear and obvious. It has nothing to do with interpretation. He's in an offside position according to the technology that we have available. Now, before we move on to the discussion as to whether people like VAR, the implementation of VAR, and this and that, did we make the correct call? Can I just ask a question? People complain about millimeters making the difference in this offside call. Let me just throw this out there. Is it not millimeters the difference between a ball bouncing off the post and out or off the post and in?
Yes.
Is it not millimeters the difference between a sliding player in the back post getting a toe poke on goal or missing an opportunity? Yes, it is. So it's a game that is decided by millimeters. In those cases, VAR has nothing to do with it. And now we have the technology to use it properly and to say, guess what? This is offside. And it is black and white. There's no gray area. It is black and white, and this is what the technology gives us. So stop complaining about millimeters. That it makes no difference. Millimeters or 10 yards is the same thing. You're offside. Goals should not count it. And guess what? There was a reaction by Leicester, which is why it goes unnoticed here, goes underplayed here, that there was a reaction by Leicester and a letdown by Spurs. And those things you can control if you're Spurs. So if Spurs fans want to get all upset about VAR, do not. Because VAR has been the same system that has saved your backside in the past. And this is what happens. They got the call right against Manchester City, and they got the call right here against Leicester. One worked for Spurs, one worked against Spurs. Too bad.
Would you support putting it on hold for now until they can get Hawkeye precision on the offside line? Because it is subject to a little bit of margin of error. Yes, it benefited Spurs in a couple of other cases. It didn't benefit them on this occasion. But would you be in favour of stepping back from that, as there's been lots of controversy about VAR in general? Do we need to update the offside law, perhaps?
No.
Okay.
That is the short answer. It's no. People, stop complaining. Stop whining. Okay? Stop whining. It's offside. All right? I don't understand when people start talking about feelings. Well, the spirit of the game. What spirit of the game? Tell that to Leicester, who would have gone down 2-0. Does the spirit of the game not count for them? It's not about the spirit of the game. The spirit of the game has nothing to do with being offside or not. Fractionally offside is offside. Fractionally offside counts the same as being 10 yards offside. Just move on from that. This whole thing, it's ruining the game. It's not ruining anybody's game. And if it's ruining your life, then you got to sort yourself out. Okay? If this is what ruining your life, then sort yourself out. He's offside. And again, underplayed and underreported is the fact that at that point, Spurs were still up 1-0. Still up 1-0 away from home with an opportunity to close out the match. Not only did they not close out the match, they gave away the match. Credit to Leicester and Spurs, their struggles continue away from home.
Yeah, let's talk about their struggles being away from home right now. It is an incredible letdown in form in terms of, we look back at their last results on the road in the Premier League. You can see they're losing 6 of the 8, going back as far as last season. The game against Olympiacos obviously didn't go their way either after being in a commanding position. How big a problem is it for Tottenham right now?
It is, and I think Mauricio Pochettino after the game was sort of asked and led into the VAR discussion, but he did say, hey, look, even at 1-1, we had opportunities to put the game away and we didn't. There are many excuses that you can point at if you want to, if you're Spurs, but I think most of all, there's got to be a certain type of character that it takes to close out a game that you haven't been dominating, because Leicester were carrying most of the possession and were creating most of the opportunities. And I thought that Leicester was outstanding and James Maddison was outstanding and their attacking players created enough opportunity. You get a great goal world-class goal by Harry Kane, and that's what that was. It was a world-class finish, even if it looks like it's just kind of falling over, just the body control and the ability to put the ball where he did. And now you're up 1-0. Now find a way, manufacture a result, and grind out a result. And in order to grind out a result in a game in which you're not controlling, that you do not have the pace of the game, that you're not controlling the rhythm of the game, you have to grind it. And you have to be able to do it with some character, with some temperament. And we didn't see any of that from Spurs. When it came down to it, Leicester got first to the ball. Leicester started winning 50-50 challenges. Leicester brought more energy, more intensity, and in doing so, they got themselves back into the game, and rightfully so. Leicester wins this game because they deserve to do this. Not because VAR gave it to them. It's because Leicester, they looked upon themselves and did what they didn't do last week against Manchester United, which is push the tempo, push the energy, push the intensity, and force Spurs back, force Spurs to defend. Eventually, they broke through, and Leicester, once again, with individual performances that were outstanding, especially James Maddison. Great goal to win it, and 3 points that they fully deserve.
Yeah, nicely rounded up, despite the controversy over VAR. Again, it's Tottenham this time who fall foul of it, and they go down 2-1. Another disappointing result on the road for them. Leicester pull 3 points clear with a big 3 points.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.